What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy KC Plays, and I'm here with
Cisco,
and we are KyngsKrew. Welcome to the castle. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, today we are here to react to the inevitable downfall of the Arrowverse. This is gonna hurt me because I was a very avid Arrowverse fan. I watched the Arrow, I watched the Flash, I watched a little bit of Supergirl, I watched DC's Legends of Tomorrow. I watched basically all the Arrowverse shows except like the ones that recently came out, like Superman and Lois and Stargirl, all that stuff. I didn't watch that, but I was a loyal fan. I was a loyal fan of the Flash, the Arrow, all those shows, man. And I can't. I'm a loyal fan, or I was a loyal fan, but I'm not a fake fan. And I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna always be real. And it fell off. It fell off. The Arrowverse definitely fell off. After the Arrow ended, I feel like it fell off. Cause they had like this big crossover. Basically, the Monitor, he was like the Thanos of the Arrowverse. His mission was the Monitor and the Anti-Monitor. Guess who's the bad guy?
the Anti-Monitor.
Yeah, the Anti-Monitor is the bad guy. I forgot their relation, but they had, of course, they was like one and the same, basically doppelgangers or something like that. And the Monitor was basically telling them like, hey, the Anti-Monitor is trying to wipe out the multiverse entirely, like all of the universes, trying to wipe it out. I need to build a team to stop him, basically. And what's like the like super DC team that got like Batman, Justice League. That's what he built basically. This is the Arrowverse Justice League. They went to the beginning of time. Stopped the Monitor, and instead of having
like
a
very beginning of time, like the very beginning, like the beginning of existence,
like God,
okay,
Big Bang. You know what I'm saying?
Gosh, okay.
Before the Big Bang, actually. So went to the beginning of time, and they stopped the Monitor, and the Arrow basically recreated the Big Bang. Before he died. I think after that whole 5 or 4 part series, I think the Arrowverse went to shit because they kind of hyped up that crisis to be like a big thing, and it was very lackluster. And I don't think I was the only person that shared that sentiment. I think a lot of people shared that sentiment about the crisis. Like, it wasn't a good series or like a good, crossover. Like, it was okay, but like the way they hyped it up, it was just like basically they're summing up like, oh, this is the end game of the Arrowverse. And you know how good Endgame was for Marvel. It was like, and I didn't expect it to be as good as that because it's not a movie, but I expected it to be like on the same level.
That crazy on a TV show.
But like, I expected it to be like on their level to be good like that. But it wasn't. It was kind of like a basic crossover. Maybe, but it went to shit. They had really good crossover before this, man, and it was just like, this supposed to be like the culmination of everything, and it was just like to me. So, but yeah, we're gonna see what the video says. If you're rocking with us, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
I mean, how often does the world almost come to an end? Oh, it's like that.
Since 2012, there's been no better or more consistent superhero universe on television than the Arrowverse. At one point, ballooning to 6 TV shows on the air simultaneously, all weaving an interconnected story. Sure, Marvel has had the Netflix shows and some stop and starts with things like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Inhumans, but the network adventures
I never watched
of
Agents of
DC's
S.H.I.E.L.D.
finest
I watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for a little bit, but then I fell off. Inhumans I heard about like, I'm gonna say like last year or a few months ago, some shit. I never kept up with it, and that's what I heard about it. But I only watched like maybe 2 episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I never really got into that. Partly why I didn't get into it is because it's something about certain TV shows where it's like, I don't like the way it's paced, I I guess I don't know how to describe it because like certain shows, I like. It's something like within like the cinematography and the way the acting plays out. You know what I'm trying to say?
No,
I don't know how to say it either, but fuck.
Have taken the break
He just
week
gave
in
up.
and week out. And yet, there's a yawning maw of uncertainty surrounding the crown jewel of the CW. The brainchild of Hollywood super producer Greg Berlanti is seemingly on the verge of extinction. Why?
You can't save everyone, Clark.
The moment I believe that is when I stop trying.
Starting in October of 2001,
Now,
Smallville,
this I watched.
a TV
I
show
watched
aimed at
Smallville.
teens, shifted the paradigm of what comic book properties could do on TV. Following the early days of Clark Kent's life in his titular hometown, Smallville was sexy, successful, and made a lot of money for its network.
What?
the
You seen that man on the cross
In fact,
dripping
when the
blood?
network rebranded as the CW
was
in
hot.
May of 2009,
call it-
the
I wanna
series
call that
was
like a-
renewed
like
for
a
3
character trait.
additional
Ugh.
seasons to help bolster the bottom line. After Smallville came to an end in 2011, the CW was keen to recreate the
10
magic.
seasons?
They greenlit an adaptation of the popular Smallville supporting character, Green Arrow, for his own show. The show would be a darker and more brooding version of the character. In fact, you could almost say he wasn't the Green Arrow. He was Batman.
Well, you know us billionaire vigilantes. We do love our toys.
Now, Green
In the
Arrow,
comics,
I watched.
Green
a bit of
Arrow
it.
is known for being a
watched
street-level
a bit of
character
Green
with a wry sense of
It's really
humor,
good.
iconic green tights, and hopeful view for the future. In Arrow, Oliver Queen was dark, tortured, and brooding. Yes, the pilot adapted from the acclaimed Andy Diggle and Jock Year One story, but the show quickly developed its own personality. Instead of attempting to slavishly recreate Smallville's success, Arrow opted for a mix of primetime soap and Pulp Street level vigilante narratives. Much of the production crew carried over from Smallville to Arrow, but the key factor in its early success was the brain trust who created the show. The very same brain trust behind Green Lantern. Yes, that Green Lantern.
The ring never makes
I
mistakes.
liked Green Lantern. I mean, I barely remember it,
You
but
see, prior to the studio realizing it
Yeah,
might not be the
cool.
vehicle they all
I never
wanted it to be,
understood the hate for that, to be honest, because I guess like I was super young when I watched it, but I never understood the hate for this movie.
yeah, probably if we was to go back and watch it, we'd see like something. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was cool. It was the first Green Lantern movie I ever. Well, I guess it's the only Green Lantern movie. But
I guess it's because I do enjoy the Green Lantern character. Like I think it's really cool how he can just like his power is his imagination.
it is.
I like
It is
that.
dope.
was intended to launch the DC Cinematic Universe. However, we all know what happened there. It bombed. The plans for a DC universe on the big screen were delayed, and the creatives involved went to TV. Andrew Kreisberg, Greg Berlanti, and Mark Guggenheim all are credited as the creators of Arrow.
And
As
then
soon as
Marvel
Arrow
saw
had
that, it was
proven
like,
that it had legs and wasn't
could do
going
better.
anywhere, the Brain Trust's immediate goal was to set up more shows.
Still looks
They wanted to
ridiculous
recreate the
with the
magic
CGI.
of the DC universe, the promise of an
I
interconnected
always wonder,
tapestry
like,
of
how do they feel like doing this stuff?
You gotta feel goofy if
It
you ain't
got
like
to.
fully immersed.
They got to. I know it's so many times when motherfuckers just bust out laughing in the middle of something, like especially when they doing like some superpower energy beam and shit, and they just like, and like they just like, all right, and action. And like just gotta sit there and do that and cut. It's like you watch that back without the editing is,
I look stupid.
but then once that editing hit,
I look cool.
yeah.
superhero narratives on TV. Starting at around Arrow's third season, they accomplished their goal. Berlanti and Kreisberg worked with DC bigwig Jeff Johns to create a vehicle for the Scarlet Speedster.
I'm Barry Allen. No!
This was cool. When he did
What does
this.
that mean? How can this...
This should be impossible now.
The Flash, who had previously had a one-season TV show in the 1990s, was primed to appeal to younger audiences that the CW was gunning for. Actor Grant Gustin was cast in the part and appeared in 2 soft backdoor pilot cameos on Arrow prior to getting his own show. Much like the Arrowverse's version of Green Arrow, the Flash underwent some major character surgery as well. Barry Allen, the Silver Age version of the character, was a stern crime scene
I'm going to let you in.
Whoa,
The best
that
time
beard, my brother.
to save money. Are you ready? It's all you.
investigator, hit by lightning in a laboratory and given the ability to run faster than any human alive. In the comics, his nephew Wally West, a wisecracking speedster with a heart of gold, took up the mantle when Barry died. For the show, they combined these 2 versions of the Flash into the Arrowverse version of Barry. Premiering in North America on October 7th, 2014, the pilot was the second most watched premiere in the history of the CW, right after Vampire Diaries. Needless to say, the Arrowverse was off to the races.
A race?
Think you can keep up, Girl of Steel?
Yeah, that's when he went
just
to her
you
Earth,
watch Scarlet's
and
Beast.
she was like, "How don't you know who I am?"
Supergirl
He was
landed
like,
at
"How don't you know who I
CBS,
am?"
but the network decided to cancel the show. Thankfully, it got picked up at the CW. And now, with 3 live-action shows on the network, a reasonable person would assume they'd slow down on superhero programming due to market oversaturation. Well, that person would be wrong. While these shows kept churning out Tights and Fights adventures, the CW greenlit 3 new shows: The Legends of Tomorrow, Batwoman, and Black Lightning. During this era of the CW-verse,
See, I
the
never knew
brain-trusted
Black
writers
Lightning
and
was a
producers
part of it.
began attempting to
I just
perfect
thought
a
he was like his own
recreation of the
standalone
comic book
character.
crossover. Large universe-spanning stories that take advantage of the large ensemble and colorful characters.
You got shanghaied into another crossover, didn't you?
Initially, these shows would stage these crossovers as single one-off episodes, like the Arrow Season 3 episode The Brave and the Bold, or the Arrow Season 4 episode Haunted, which featured John Constantine. However, these
low-key,
one-off
those, like,
crossovers
the best
eventually
when they was
developed
just,
into
like,
event.
Yeah, when they started doing the whole event series, they were cool. Like the first one was really good. They were like fighting Nazis from like Earth X, and it was like Earth X was where basically
crossover with Hitler.
Yeah, but Hitler wasn't there. But like, damn. Yeah, like Earth X is like the Earth where the Nazis won basically, and like the world is like, you know, concentration camps and shit like that, and like they met the Nazi version of themselves, and actually it was a wedding between Barry and Iris, where the Nazis crashed the wedding. Iris West Island, kind of like Barry's love interest, kind of like the lowest to the Flash. Yeah, they was getting married. And it's crazy because that story is crazy. Iris is technically his stepsister in the show. Yeah.
I mean, stepsister. His sister by marriage. So it's like...
Yeah. But you know how the Reverse Flash killed his mom, and his dad went to jail for it, for killing his mom. Iris's dad took Barry in, and they kind of grew up together. Iris and Barry grew up together. But the whole time he had a crush on her. And then when they got older, when Iris's fiance... Yeah, but when Iris's fiance died, got murdered, he was like... And that's what slid in. He slid in, and they got married. But yeah.
So you, heard you single now.
The boy slid in on the opportunity. Said,
Sorry
know what?
for what happened to your boyfriend. You know, you need to show up the crowd. I'm here for you. Need somebody to talk to, you know. I got you, girl. We've been knowing each other since the playground days.
That's so weird.
You know I'm here for you. I'm always here. You know? My room right across the hall. Talk to me when you need it.
Literally right across the hall. Yeah, like, and during that wedding, the Nazi murdered the priest, just like evaporated him. Thanos snapped him basically. And you know, they fought Nazis. Fought the Nazi version themselves.
Nazis with ray guns.
Yeah, basically, yeah, like a ray gun. They just zoom, Nazi priest gone. They what? They didn't care about the priest. The priest just gone now. They don't give a
like
fuck.
this nigga got a ray gun.
They're like, oh shit,
Hey,
Nazi.
you a Nazi.
Series that the audience would have to view in sequential order. And as insane as this sounds, this didn't just happen once. It happened 7 times. Flashverse era, Heroes Join Forces, Invasion, Crisis on Earth X,
aliens.
Elseworlds, Crisis on Infinite Earths, and Armageddon.
And these are all like they big
5
crossovers.
parts long, across
Yeah, I think
5
the first
TV
two was
shows.
just.
Sometimes you just have to slow down.
The first two was just the
As these shows
Arrow
continue-
and the Flash crossing over, but then like after that they grew in shows and they started to have more crossovers. And then like the thing about their crossovers was each episode would be on each show. So like the first part crossover would be on the Flash, second part Arrow, third part.
So you
Legends.
had to watch all these shows.
You had to watch all the show on different days, so you have to keep up with the days. Like, cause like they won't come on the same day. Like the Flash came on Tuesdays, Arrow came on Mondays, DC Legends of Tomorrow came on Thursday. So you had to really.
So part 1 would come out on Tuesday, and then next week part 2 would come out on like Monday or something,
or
would it be
in
like
order
within that whole week.
Within a whole week, yeah.
Okay.
If
I mean,
not,
I guess it's not too bad.
yeah. If
I mean,
not,
it's
like week and a half. Like, so the beginning of this week, beginning of next week. But it was like streamlined basically. So it was smooth.
I mean, as a consumer, I guess it's not too bad. You got a show to watch every day. You ain't gotta wait. You know? But I bet that was probably bad on a budget, trying to make this crossover show on every, every show and every day. Yeah. I mean, as a consumer, I ain't gotta wait.
Yeah.
Shit, thank you. Do all the crossovers, but then it's like you said, it starts to get ass. So
yeah.
To merge and evolve, the CW would greenlight Superman and Lois and Naomi. At this point, you can probably see the writing on the wall. How much is too much?
Naomi?
The shows began to overtake each other. They were all stylistically similar, all aiming for the same demographics, and all suffering from the same problem: artificially manufactured status quos. Much like their comic book predecessors, the shows started to alienate their core supporters by not allowing their characters to change or their status quos to grow and evolve. How many times can Barry run so fast he turns time backwards? How many times can there be a new Green Arrow or different colored Canary? And then, as it is inevitable with all things, the good times started to come to an end.
An end.
That's the tip. I'll tell you about.
And a beginning.
First, it was Arrow coming to an end, and the spin-off series not being picked up. Then Supergirl dipping in the ratings and being canceled after season 6. Then they gave the axe to Black Lightning. Over the last few years, there's been a lot of change-ups in the media landscape. One of the largest has been AT&T's sale of Warner Brothers to Discovery. Because of this corporate restructuring, in May of 2022, the Discovery higher-ups decided to completely overhaul the CW. Ultimately, in a shocking twist of events, CW canceled 7 of its primetime programs, with an eye on a near-complete overhaul of the network's identity.
You look like the attractive yet non-threatening racially diverse cast of a CW show.
Currently, there are 2 CW-verse shows on the air that take place in the Berlanti shared universe. The Flash, which is about to enter its final season, and Superman and Lois, which seems to be performing very well and is striking a chord with Superman fans. These shows are the final vestiges of the greatest shared TV universe ever put to film. It's a sad reality that when bottom lines tighten, it's often the fans and the creative community who come away hurting. However, it is resoundingly impressive that what started out as a let's see if we can riff off of Smallville show birthed hundreds of hours worth of television. It's just a shame that this superhero universe went the way of so many others. They became overly complicated, self-involved, and refused to evolve. If there's one thing we know about superheroes, however, it's that even when they're dead, they always come back. What do you think? Will the CW-verse be...
I feel like the CW's problem is they started to do too much. And it became too much to juggle. Like, especially The Flash alone. Like, one episode of The Flash to realistically change the whole landscape of everything. That man could go back in time and change the timeline. And then you reset.
So if The Flash changes something in his show, change something in all the other shows too?
Back in the day, it would. So when changing the timeline actually mattered, because he changed the timeline multiple times recently.
After a while, they just stopped. You know what?
It stopped mattering. Like one
we're not
time.
Gonna rewrite Supergirl. We're not gonna rewrite Arrow and Black Lightning for the 5th time.
And they would do that. Like the Flash would do that stuff to fit the storyline and find an out to their Like they would write themselves into a wall. Like, oh, timeline change. Quick. But problem with that is it's supposed to change everything. It doesn't make sense. So back in the day, one time the Flash, he did Flashpoint where he went back in time and stopped the reverse Flash from killing his mom. But the thing is, he don't become the Flash because, the whole thing. He don't become the Flash. His dad will go to jail. So that kind of ripple effect happened. And in the Arrow, something happened where one of the characters, his son became a daughter or vice versa, and something happened where the Arrow and his wife ended up not getting married, or something like that happened where it had a big effect, and they was mad at Barry, bro, what the fuck? Why'd you change things? You fucking shut up. So back in the day, it made sense, but now it's just I feel like nothing has any type of connection. Nothing really matters anymore in these shows. It's just I'm just watching to watch. There's no bite my fingernails, and I'm nervous.
Just here for a ride at this point.
Yeah, just here to see the ending. That's basically it. And it sucks for shows get like that, but you know, we had a decent ride with the Flash and all the other shows had a decent ride, but yeah, man, downfall of the Arrowverse. Sucks to see it, but everything comes to an end at a certain point. If you're rocking with us, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow all the links down in the description below. We got our black-owned businesses,
B.O.B.
and we have our gaming channel, KyngsKrew Gaming. Go over there and subscribe to that channel because
we do be gaming.
Yes, sir. It's your boy KC Plays.
And I'm Cisco.
And we are KyngsKrew. See you guys next time. Peace.